Blog Talk Radio.
You got Radio Exposed with Tinky and Louie on blogtalkradio.com. I'm Tinky.
I'm Louie.
I'm Dickie.
Our producers today are Sharma and his half-faced monkey. The intern is Dudley, and Fireball Dave is doing the promotions. You can email us at tinkyandlouie@radioexposed.net. Follow us on Twitter at Radio Exposed, on holler.com at Radio Exposed, and Facebook keyword Radio Exposed. We have guests this week. Our guests are the guys from the thirdmanin.com. It's Chris Block and Superstar. They'll be joining us later today. Guys, a lot of news this week about the whole TSA thing with the whole travel. You know, people are like worried about their pat-downs and safety and guns. I found a lot of really, really fun stuff. What do you guys think? Well, what are the positions? What's the Radio Exposed position on pat-downs?
Well, I can only speak for myself, but I'm much more likely to head out to an airport and just pretend I'm flying just to get myself a little feel up.
Mm-hmm. Now, I actually came up with this a couple days ago where I'm like, okay, well, we have to talk about it because a lot of people are worried about it. And I was crunching some numbers. If you go out on the street and get yourself, not like a ratty hooker, but just any type of, self-respecting looking, passes the sniff test type hooker, what do you think the going rate would be for a really good, thorough pat-down?
Gosh, well, if one of our stories today actually had some dollar values in there for some acts. So assuming I'm going to base mine off of those figures, I'm going to assume that a full-blown pat-down, $15, $20.
$15-$20.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Your hookers don't pass the sniff test. I was thinking more along the lines of 50. Like, to go up to hooker, first of all, they're expecting the sex. They're like, hey, I'll do things to you. But if you go up, like, just frisk me, I'm sure they're going to charge you more for the weird.
Really? Is that how it works? I mean, we probably need somebody on with more expertise. Somebody who really frequents the prostitutes quite a bit that could shed some light on that. I think that it would be more of a really whatever.
I just threw a number out there. My only hooker experience is pretty much in Vegas, where they just kind of come up to you and just tell you things like, hey, they'll do this to you. Go, where's your hotel room? And you're like, it's like 8 a.m. let me finish my cocktail. Dickie, what's the going rate for hookers?
I'm going to say $10 on Cicero Avenue.
$10? Okay.
Yeah, but those are hookers that, as you said, they definitely do not pass the sniff test. Literally and figuratively, actually.
Now, these are the dollar values for just the one hooker, because like for my scenario, you're getting this twice. And if you buy like a round trip ticket to Southwest to like Minneapolis, you got a round trip ticket for like $70, bags fly free. 2 pat downs for $70, professionally done pat downs. What do you think?
Yeah, but, I mean, are you going to get, at least, if you're paying, all right, let's assume that it is going to cost you $50 for a good, thorough pat-down from a prostitute who does pass the sniff test. If you're flying, chances, I mean, you may have a very burly gentleman doing your pat-down, and you going to enjoy that? I mean, maybe you will close your eyes and pretend, but that'd be a little bit too big a hurdle for me.
With a lot of hookers, you're closing your eyes and pretending, though. If you're going to be honest on that. So, yeah, I'm thinking, $70 round trip, you get 2 pat downs. You have the chance to tell the person patting you down that that's not a weapon, but it's definitely loaded and it's dangerous. You can do that. Then you'll end up in Cuba.
Now, how soon before someone does make a comment like that during a pat down? And
I'm
they
sure
are
it's already
arrested and
happened.
charged with some federal offense.
I've looked. I have 8 stories here, TSA related just from this week alone, and I'm sure it's already happened. I'm waiting for it, for the actual story to come up. I'm sure there's been some smart ass. Now, one of these stories,
I would assume so.
One of these stories comes from Elena Sutherland, who they showed a picture of her at Disneyland with Goofy, and she says she was singled out because of her breasts. And I'm looking at the picture, and I agree.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly, because not only does she have enormous breasts, she's very cute, and, well, I believe she had a child with her, too, did she not?
I think also got
I believe she also had a child with her. Now, is that the profile of your standard terrorist, a attractive, large-breasted woman with a child?
No, I will get
we better take a closer look.
Yeah, well, I'm giving her an ocular pat-down right now. And judging by what I'm
She's
seeing
not liking
here,
that either.
like, would you rather give her the pat-down or the thing I'm posting right now on our Facebook fan page is the scanner, which, if you've seen the pictures that the scanner gives, I'm looking at it right now. It's an attractive blonde woman who you see her from the rear in full clothing, and then you see the scanner from front and back. You see the gun on her back and what appears to be her belt on the front, but on her front you also see a little more detail. This is softcore porn.
Yeah, when I actually opened the picture that you sent over, I burst into hysterical laughter because it appears, now maybe what we're supposed to believe is that she was hiding a gun in the back of her pants, but the X-ray image here certainly makes it appear that she has stored that very large pistol inside her ass.
Oh yeah, she is ass crackless. It's gone, but she's definitely got a very, very well defined chest, which is very clear. Which is I'm not sure if that works. If you're going to have this type of full body scan, wouldn't you want the crack to kind of have some definition to it? That's where you're hiding things.
Well, if this is an accurate depiction of what it looks like, whether or not they're going to show an accurate shot of the crack, they're definitely going to show you anything that's inside it.
Yeah. Let's see what.
That's crystal clear. Crystal clear.
But what would you let's say you're a TSA guy. Would you single her out for a pat down, or would you single her out for the body scan?
Oh, this particular woman? Just based on the back, I'd say that would require a physical pat down.
Or would you give her what Goofy's given her, which, judging by this picture, he's about to fall on her.
Hasn't Goofy had some incidences with a little bit of harassment?
Oh yeah, he'll feel up anybody. He doesn't need the TSA.
Yeah, that's trouble. Now, that's just trouble.
Now with the scanners, going to the next story, it says that the scanners are indeed safe, even though it blows an amazing amount of radiation on you. But it says 1 in 30 million people have the risk of getting fatal cancer, which puts it lower than getting struck by lightning, which is 1 in 5 million. I hate any type of statistics when it comes to that because the chances of me getting struck by lightning now are a lot less than 1 in 5 million. It's, the chance of me getting terminal cancer from a body scan is higher. I'm not outdoors. I'm inside. There's no chance of lightning outside, so my chances diminish greatly. I always like when they give the chances of you getting eaten by a shark. Oh no, they're slim. Well, they're slim if I'm on land.
Well, it's also extremely slim for us living in Illinois. I mean, the chances of us dying from a shark attack are almost none.
Yeah, when they figure out those numbers, they take the amount of shark attacks and then divide that or whatever they do by the amount of people living. It's if you're in the water, the numbers go up. The odds of you getting eaten by a shark.
The numbers are significantly higher if you happen to be along a coast, perhaps.
So when you have millions and millions of people traveling this weekend for Thanksgiving, what do you guys say? 30, 40 of them have ended up with cancer now?
You'd think. I was just going to say. I mean, the numbers that they throw out for a holiday weekend. 50 billion people are flying this weekend. Well, a big chunk of those now have terminal cancer from these scanners.
Yeah, thank you. I'd still take it though. For the safety of flying. You know what? Here's my deal with the safety. Obviously, we want to fly on a plane and not blow up. We don't want to get shot.
That's the goal.
However,
Also
do you
true.
think the terrorists would think twice if they knew half the people were armed?
As in, anybody could just go ahead and bring a pistol on board with them?
Yeah, you stand up and you're like, I've got a bomb. And you're like, well, you have guns pointed at you already. You'll have that one nutcase that's pointing a gun at anyone that stands up. So you wouldn't want everybody armed?
Absolutely not.
Just organized chaos?
All right. Just imagine. Okay, I've got a bomb. He doesn't really have a bomb, but 14 people opened fire. 7 innocent people are killed in the initial onslaught, and everybody else dies when the plane goes down because they just busted out 8 windows and air pressure is sucking people out left and right.
Now, that'll happen on the first couple days, but after that, people are starting to get the hang of it. I think the airlines will be safer for allowing guns on board. So the next story, this almost made What's Going On because of how just silly it was. The TSA chief apologizes to traveler with ostomy. This guy, he had a major, he had bladder cancer, and bad things were happening. He pisses out of his stomach into a bag, and it's a sad thing. A lot of people have it, and you feel sorry for them. This guy got patted down so hard that his bag broke and he was covered in urine. Which, first of all, I think judging by the amount of urine he had on him, that's more than 3 ounces of liquid, right?
They lifted that ban.
Oh, they lifted that ban?
They lifted that ban right before the holidays, I think it was.
Oh, I was not aware of that. So you're allowed more than 3 ounces of urine on board now.
So how many ounces of urine can I bring on board? And now I'm not somebody that has to use a bag. Can I bring some container filled with urine?
Probably.
Only if you pour it on some random old guy. Now,
all right, rock and roll.
Yeah, because you'd hate to have to go buy the urine after you already went through the checkpoint.
Seriously.
Now, my favorite line from this was after he was patted down and he was soaked with his own urine, he was humiliated, upset, and wet, which I thought was only my tagline. But the man's name, Eugene Sawyer, or no, Thomas Sawyer, Eugene Sawyer. Yeah, he's a politician.
Tom Sawyer?
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Tom Sawyer, covered in urine, right in the old Mississippi in a log raft. Sawyer said that he walked through the airport soaked in urine, boarded his plane, and waited till takeoff before he could clean up. Now, he's got an excuse. He was patted down, and his urine bag broke. Why? What about the other 5% of the people walking around covered in urine? What's their excuse?
Oh, God. I just hope I'm not ever in a position where I'm next to someone who's run into this scenario.
Oh, or
that's
sitting
awful
next
for
to him.
Everyone involved.
Yeah, and then the next thing
or he ends up in my lap, whatever. Gross.
Then the next thing I found was at the TSA, they're not changing gloves when they do the pat down. So if some large sweaty guy in front of you is getting patted down and you're next, you can't say, "Can you switch gloves, please?" Because I don't want to be covered with whatever that man's covered in.
Why am I not surprised? Now, the federal government also runs the FDA, right? So now are they checking out the beef without changing gloves too?
That actually, it's the same process.
Actually, you know what? It probably is very close.
Hey, dose of radiation, give it a pat down.
This is a little too firm. A little too soft. We need a closer look.
And then they also mentioned that different airports have different things, and wait, I got this done at this airport, and this airport didn't have that. The TSA has now announced that that's actually part of their process. That hey, the unpredictability is our plan. It's like, no, I think that. I just flew out of Vegas. I started taking my belt off, and the guy's like, "No, you don't have to do that anymore." I'm like, really? Because on the way here 4 days ago, I did. So yeah, the unpredictability is part of their plan.
One of our frequent listeners, Willie, Big Willie was traveling. He did a lot of flying for work over a period of about 2 weeks, and he forgot that he had left his Zippo in his carry-on bag, and he'd gone through O'Hare, Miami International, and then I want to say the final airport of his journey was like West Virginia or South Carolina, one of the two, I believe. I think it was actually Charleston, West Virginia. And they pulled him aside and accused him of trying to set fire to the plane. And he said, well, wait. I've gone through O'Hare, Miami, and this has been in my bag the whole time. If they had pointed it out to me, I would have taken it out. I didn't even realize it was in the bottom of my bag. And they didn't believe it. He ended up, having to sit through the whole, grilling by, federal people and whatnot. It's like, I really don't think that was the unpredictability of the screening. I think somebody must have screwed up somewhere along the line, or these people are awfully diligent.
Well, with him, 1 out of every 5 chances he's probably detained anyway. So, I mean...
Oh, he'd get more, he'd have to go through the scanner every time if I'm running the airport.
Yeah, that's a lot of drinking,
every
too.
Time.
2 flights?
To the back room.
Well, you'd have to pull him in. You don't want to do what you're going to do to him in public. So the next story is that they're having problems with the prosthetics too. Like some of these like really like highly technical prosthetics. They're like they have no clue how, because they all look like bombs. Like they got wires and they're hardcore plastics and like how do you do this? Here's the scenario that I came up with while I was taking a walk. That for those people. You see the terrorist training course, like that little double layer thing that they're doing. So, like, they jump over a bar and then they jump into, like, a big, 6-foot high, like, ice cream sundae. And the ones that didn't pull the red flag out, those are the ones that have to think up this stuff, because they can't go out and be real terrorists. So, you got to think that there's, like, a whole group of people just thinking of this stuff. And... is putting a bomb in a prosthetic or is making a liquid that looks like urine really that out of the realm of possibility?
Well, it certainly doesn't seem like it would be all that difficult. That seems like actually a pretty easy avenue to go down if you're going to attempt to smuggle something on, even if it's not a terrorism thing. Let's assume, whatever you want, come up with some substance you want to bring on board. Easy if you just want to pretend you wet yourself all the time or do something to appear that you have a fake limb or a steel plate, whatever the case may be.
And with the way that the security is now, and it has been for several years, is you don't even have to do this anymore. All you got to do is say it. So all you got to do is be a terrorist in some distant country, accidentally leave your scanner on where the CIA is listening, and just say, hey, I'm going to put a bomb in a prosthetic. Oh, TSA is going nuts. Like, oh, prosthetics. Ban all prosthetics. He's done his job, and he hasn't even done anything wrong yet. All he's done is just think it out loud. So, like, there's got to be just a group of just, like, a terrorist think tank that couldn't make it in the real terrorist camps, and that's just their job. And they're probably looked down upon, too, by the stud terrorists. Like, oh, you and your thinking of things. Or there's people that we hired. Like, hey, you're our terrorist. What would you do? And he's just like, well, I definitely put bombs in prosthetics. And then, boom, TSA has the same thing. Or I'm going to make a liquid that looks like urine. We're going to explode it. It's flammable. Boom. Or better yet, some guy in Guantanamo. He's bored off his mind. He's been there for 3 years. He's just going nuts. And he's like, hey, I got some inside info. Even though I've been on this island for 3 years, I just remembered something. They're going to put bombs in prosthetics. Wouldn't you do that if you're in prison? Just make up stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you can actually get somebody to bite on something you're saying, you get yourself some extra smokes.
Maybe one less waterboarding.
Some 93 octane privileges.
Oh, it's bringing up the 93 octane already. So
I'm not going to be throwing that one out. That exists.
now I haven't heard of any remember the boycotts? Like they're like, oh, boycott the security, boycott the scanner.
Right.
And we haven't really heard of that. The TSA did announce that if you boycotted the scanners, the whole process will become like annoying. Like, oh, really? This is where it gets annoying.
Yeah, it's once people start to protest that this whole process just gets ridiculous.
So, after all that, where are we on pat downs? Are we for or against? I think we're for.
I think we're for. I think we want to get rid of the scanners and just go to strictly pat downs.
Or how about this? They don't hire people to do the pat downs. You just have to pat down the one behind you. Everyone's got to pat down each other.
Yeah, it's the second grade test grading procedure. I like that. Take the paper of the person next to you. Okay, now mark the wrong answers on there.
Come here, lady. I'm going to single you out.
You need a thorough pat down.
And then, how much? Why is he wearing your condom?
All right, that's just vile. That's vile.
All right, so there is one thing I forgot. I've noticed a lack of chatting. We are accessible on Google Chat, so find us at Radio Exposed, google.com or whatever, and come join on this fun. One person has, and that one person happens to be Dickie, so I don't think that counts.
No, he does not count.
Yeah, that's how we do our show notes, people. We just Google chat each other. And while I'm doing that, I'm checking out the body scan again. This body. Oh, here's one thing we can mention: the logo. We had a change in logo. We had a contest to decide who is going to make our next logo, and the winner was Cliff Harmon. And for those of you that know me, I have known him since like 5th grade, and we've been really good friends. So, to no one's shock, my friend who's an artist won. But we have a new contest that we're going to try to roll out, and I've let a couple DJ friends know. I'm trying to let some rock people know. We mentioned it in our first show. We need a new show open and a new show closing. The show open now, it's a good song. It's a nice upbeat song, but it's not us. I want lyrics that mention us. Crap like that. Tinky, Louie, and Dickie when he's over there.
Hopefully, exactly like that. Tinky, Louie, Dickie, Not a lot of grunting.
Oh, yeah. We need grunting. We need stuff that's confusing to listen to.
We need Willie to sing it.
Oh, yeah, if you can find Willie and have him sing it. But, we can give out some prizes. We gave out a $50 gift certificate for I have several $50 gift certificates to restaurants of various locations. We gave that away for the logo prize. I think we can definitely find stuff to give away if anyone out there wants to develop some type of opening and closing song for us. Here's the catch. No copyrighted music. So you can't take existing songs, mix them up, and say, here's your thing. You kind of got to mix a beat, create a song, actually write it, and then allow us permission to use it. And that's the only way to get this done, because right now we're kind of limited to this copyright music, or the uncopyrighted music for that matter.
And it's not good.
And this week's poll question: what other activities would you like to see the Stars do next? Dancing with the Stars just concluded. Jennifer Grey won. No longer in the corner. And I'm sick of the Stars. Ice skating with the Stars is coming up next. It's just horrible.
That just looks really, really bad. Really bad.
So your choices are...
We should discuss what qualifies as a star now, because that has totally changed. Vince Neil? Really?
You know what I want to see?
Surgery?
Vince Neil had surgery?
I'm asking Louie because he's big into heavy metal, old school heavy metal. Didn't he have open heart surgery not too long ago?
with an ice skate.
I have no idea. Brett Michaels had a bunch of medical issues. I don't know about Vince Neil. I just know that Vince Neil.
Swear to God, I thought
he's
Vince
a chunky
Neil
monk.
had something, and I don't even think he should be putting that much effort out because he's gonna have a heart attack on the ice. That'll bring in ratings.
Oh, I'll pay to watch that. Actually, with Vince Neil, I hope that he gets really drunk and runs into another skater and kills him.
Now that's cold.
Oh,
he would actually, in order for history to repeat itself, I believe he would have to be skating doubles with someone and then run into another competitor.
Well, they are skating in pairs, so he could be like holding his partner, which I assume is a her, and crash into the boards, and when they land on the ice, then it'll be cold.
Yeah.
So here's your options for what you want to see the Stars do next. Raking leaves with the Stars, which that sounds like it'd be fun. Just have one of your B-list, C-list celebrities just piling leaves into a bag. Hot tar roofing with the Stars. Falling down a well with the Stars, or overdosing with the Stars. So go to our poll page, vote for that. You still got time to do that. We'll announce those at the end of the night. And now, here's what's going on. A look at the funny stories from this week. Yeah, we will find. I have some people in mind that are going to do some sound bites for that because we can't do the music bed thing. So, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, I'd love to. First of all, before we even get going, kudos, because there were stories that we had lined up for this that didn't even make the cut. There were just so many good stories, and I'm really, really sad actually about one of the stories that didn't make the cut. But very, very good work digging up all these gems because there's just a ton of them.
Yeah, the stories that don't make the cut. Well, the stories that don't make the cut. The stories that don't make the cut, I do post on Facebook. So
good, because
which one did you?
There are good. My favorite one that didn't make the cut was the phone prank at the motel.
Oh, the midget motel. I would see how you would like that.
I forgot about the midget motel one. We'll take that for next week because I didn't post that yet.
If we can fit it in at the end, we'll hit it. But we'll go with what we got right now.
You read that one because I probably threw that away I forgot to print it. So we'll fit that at the end because that one should have made the cut.
Okay, this one was I believe this is from Korea. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Tinky.
Yeah.
But a 16th century female mummy that was discovered in a family graveyard was reburied, and apparently they had found this accidentally, and it was in incredible condition. And all these academic, archaeologists, scholars, whatever, all wanted to examine this and do tests on it and da-da-da-da-da-da. According to an old family registry, the woman was born in 1544. She died in 1587. But they figured they could learn a lot from this very well-preserved body. But unfortunately, the mummy was haunting the dreams of her currently living family and forced them to demand that they rebury her immediately. And they did so.
Here's what I like, is the dreams that they were having. They're like, we're having these recurring dreams, and we need the body moved because we're cursed. And what are those dreams about, you ask?
Dreams of a cow.
Which traditionally interpreted in Korea is representative, like of a family ancestor. So if any of our listeners out there are dreaming of livestock, try moving some dead people around. See if you can change your luck. So our next story.
You have to hope that somebody finds a dead family member buried in a strange place, and then you can demand that it be reburied.
Well, if that doesn't happen, if you don't have any relocated family members, and you are still dreaming of livestock, just find a dead person and just move them. Maybe you'll change your dream around.
Well, there's a cemetery in the area that you could do that at.
Oh, Bachelor's Grove. You can move all types of things around.
Yeah, head down. Okay, yeah, good. Dream's gone.
All right, this out of Rome. A Roman statue of Mars displayed by Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi, some long Italian name, His statue of Mars has been restored with a new penis. And if you've seen a lot of Roman statues, I guess one thing that was fun over the last couple centuries was to hack off the penises and keep them as some type of odd keepsake. Well, when you have like two sex scandals going on and your country is going down the crapper with the economy, people are getting laid off left and right, paying $95,000 to restore one of your statue's penises, I don't think is the financially sound. I know in this country that I don't think that would go over well on either of the networks. They'll be blaming each other for it, definitely.
Well, yeah. This is actually pretty damn funny. He didn't just get a penis though. He also got some other body parts fixed on some statues. He got a hand.
Here's one of my favorite quotes.
It wasn't just a wiener.
My favorite quotes, maybe of all time, in What's Going On, is the 2nd century marble statue of the Roman god of war and another of Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, were fixed for $95,000 with little regard to traditional restoring techniques. What is the traditional restoring technique for restoring a penis?
Slap on wang. Done.
And then they found out they said the restoration was fully authorized with added body parts, and they were removable. Removable in quotes. So I don't know if that's removable.
As in, you can snap it off?
Yeah, can you snap it back on after you remove it, or it's removable like you can hack it off again and keep it as a keepsake?
Very
now,
bizarre.
One of the sex scandals, by the way, is a woman claimed that she slept with the Italian leader twice, and she was given $14,100 and provided with drugs. And
wow.
He's like, oh, these are just indecent attacks.
She got ripped off, though. $95,000 to put a new wiener and hand on a statue, and then the woman who actually gives it up for him, she only gets $14,000.
Yeah, you'd think if you have a removable, marble penis, that you'd ask that to be part of the mix too. So what's our next story?
Strange. We got all right. You've seen all those, do-it-yourself shows. They got all kinds of, they got a whole network on it now. How to do whatever you want, build an addition, da-da-da-da. Well, a German do-it-yourself enthusiast was working in his own cellar, and I don't know if this is accidental or by design, but he built a wall with no way out, so he locked himself into his own cellar.
It happens. You hear about these stories where the cops were called because a guy did something, put himself in a situation where he's stuck.
And understandably, it does happen. But in this case, he apparently did such a bang-up job that he let everything settle and then was unable to get through his handiwork. So he had to bash his way through a firewall connecting to another residence. And when he finally emerged into that residence, he saw his neighbors and began insulting them.
I love this story because not only is he so, he builds this wall, he has an air hammer with him. He's got the ability to knock his own handiwork down. I think he had the ability. He didn't do a bang-up job where he could knock that wall down. I think he wasn't going to knock that wall down. It's I don't like this guy. I'm going to go through his wall.
That could be. Why ruin my beautiful handiwork when I could just pound through here at these jackasses?
He also brought enough food and water, too. So, this guy, he knew what he was doing. He knew, what if I accidentally brick myself in? I'm going to have some food and water ready, and I'm going to stay here for a week, definitely collect some feces and urine, and then knock my neighbor's wall down and make him get all this, and then yell at him. That's my favorite part. He yelled at him.
Well, that's it, well, how many times have you seen it? It's somebody else's fault, but you yell at them anyway just to deflect attention from yourself. But this is one that's probably not going to work out too well.
Yeah, deflecting the blame is what our next guy did. A Here's the Radio Exposed PSA for the week. If the hooker rips you off, don't go to the cops.
This is on par with calling the police. I just bought an eighth of weed, and this is like a 16th. This guy ripped me off for half my money.
So officers were dispatched to a complaint of theft around 7 o'clock. It says Columbia. I didn't even bother to find out which Columbia this is, but Columbia police went up to the guy where he said that he offered two women $60 for one of them to show him her chest and the other to perform oral sex on him. Now, I don't think these hookers are going to pass the sniff test, but you got two hookers. You just want to see one. Just take off your shirt. I want her to do things to me, but you just show me your shirt. Pull it above your face so I don't have to look at that. So the one girl did pull up her shirt, and the other refused to. It's like, I got my money. I don't have to suck you off anymore. Or you can put those away. We're going to run now. And he went to the cops.
Well,
He's like, I have been ripped off.
And he was ripped off. I'm with him on that. A deal's a deal.
So now he has to pay a $500 bond because he was arrested. Just when you thought you could trust your local hookers too. It's a shame. What kind of world are we living in?
Well, now look at the dollar amounts. All right, you've got the $20. Show me your boobs. $40. Blow me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The girl or girl. We'll just call them girls. This lovely lady that was flashing him for $20. That seems to be an incredible deal, actually, for her. I mean, $20. There's no work involved at all.
Oh, the going rate. The going rate is a $5 beads on a string. So
right.
Like, here's beads. Here's what's underneath my shirt. Yeah, awesome deal.
But if that costs $20, wouldn't you think the oral sex would be a hell of a lot more than $40? I mean, it's just that's my biggest problem with the story is that these dollar values they just don't jive. You got $20. Show me your boobs. $40. Why would anybody ever pay the $20 to see the boobs?
They need to hire like an accountant to help them with pricing. Because it's like going to a hot dog joint and you have a hot dog, let's say 2 hot dogs for $3, you have an incredible deal, and a beef sandwich is $37.50. Okay, so someone didn't do something right here.
Yeah, or you go to that same hot dog stand and you got the 2 hot dogs for $3, or you get that beef sandwich for $3. Wait, hold on, two crappy little hot dogs, or I get that ginormous sandwich? Why would I ever buy the hot dogs? It just boggles my mind.
So our next story.
Oh, it's $3.
What?
What's $3?
Where are you buying a beef sandwich for $3?
Nowhere.
That's the point.
It's like, who are you going to pay $20 to show the chest? You just run through an airport scanner and you see their chest.
I was just gonna say, where can I get a $40 blowjob? But if Big Willie is listening, he'll be chiming in right off the bat. So I don't want to get him going.
He'll tell you where you can get 5 for $40.
With a punch card. It's like a 10-ride Metro Pass.
It's either 1 for $8 or 5 for $40.
God.
All right, this out of Germany. Well, apparently we're hitting up Germany pretty good. A couple had to be rescued after a kinky sex session ended up in the Rhine River, which is pretty cold this time of year. This is the absolute worst case of blue balls ever. Ever.
Actually, I can't argue with that.
They parked their car, they left it on because it's cold outside, and they started a little romp in the car. They get the car rocking, back and forth. One of them accidentally hits the gear stick, which was an automatic, by the way, and it into drive into the river, and they had to be rescued. So luckily, the couple was swiftly rescued with no major injuries besides a serious case of mood kill. Ooh.
But there are a lot of interesting issues with this story. Now, the first part is it's like talking about burying the lead. You know, it's all the way at the very end is the sentence, the leather-clad pair. Okay, so now they're both decked out in leather.
No, that's a different story.
No. Yeah, that's
Wait,
the
what?
other couple. That's the other couple.
There's another couple that they said this is not the first pair, that it was that these people. Oh, it was almost like in a
wow. Okay, yeah. I apparently did a bad cut and paste because I totally missed the line that this is two separate stories.
Yeah.
Now,
this year that this was the other couple that had to be rescued. They lost.
And are these both in the same area in Germany?
I would assume so if they're in the same newspaper.
Wow.
So, yeah, they lost the key to the padlock. They padlocked themselves. Like, this is a couple that did not want to be separated till the fire brigade do us part, I guess.
God.
So, this story, this is something I want to see Bear Grylls try to do. This is like a rescue just gone bad, and yeah, I just want to make sure we were on the right story. All right.
Right now,
Bear Grylls.
You'll have to help with the exact geography of the situation. Can you paint us a picture of this general area here?
I can. Basically, it's on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. There's like a series of small islands. Normally you know about these islands from Shark Week. It's like a lot of great whites, a lot of seals and stuff like that. So this guy just tried to almost do like a reverse Alcatraz. He took his raft and tried to go out towards the Pacific Ocean from San Francisco. And he's an avid survivalist. So he brought up a lot of materials. But if you ask, I want to see Bear Grylls or Les Stroud, it's like, okay, guys, we're going to strand you on an island. All you have at your disposal is a leaky raft, camping gear, 2 burritos, vitamins, a Bible, and an Arnold Schwarzenegger mannequin, and a cell phone. Survive! I dare you. This man was trapped on an island for a week. His raft started leaking. He made it to the island. He was on for a week with nothing but a leaky raft, camping gear, 2 burritos, vitamins, a Bible, Arnold Schwarzenegger mannequin, and a cell phone. Why did he not use the cell phone?
Well,
would that be your first thing?
He lays that out for you. He was embarrassed to be stranded on an island, and he actually hits it right on the head at the end here when he said, I didn't want to spend the taxpayers' money to have the Coast Guard come rescue some stupid guy. So he knows exactly what he is, at least.
Yeah, and just that, it's like that combination of things. Like, he has a reason for just about everything. He was going to raise money for stuff, so that's why he has the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing. He's going to make news for whatever he was doing. The Bible, that's kind of explanatory. Vitamins, maybe he does get stranded and he needs his vitamin C for the day. The burritos, hey, he likes burritos. It's like I couldn't fix the. Like he knew he had 2 days worth, so he had the 2 burritos. So like, okay, I can at least spend 2 days here. Now I want to know is after a couple days, like I can't recall if this man's a married man or a man that is used to having things happen to his body on a daily basis. But if he's one of those guys that just kind of needs a release, do you think Arnold Schwarzenegger got a workout? Like, I'm alone on this island. No one's going to catch me.
Wow, it's kind of like having his own little love you lamb.
All right, we have 2 quick minutes. Can we get the midget story?
We can, yeah. We'll hit it quick. Now, keep in mind, after I go through what happens here, keep in mind that a representative of Motel 6 said that this story here is an unfortunate situation that has been occurring in various forms for years throughout the hotel industry. I find it hard to believe. I find that very hard to believe. But okay. A motel guest said that someone called him in his room and told him to smash things in order to free a midget trapped in an adjoining room. It is a 73-year-old man. Someone called his room about 11 p.m., said he was a manager at the motel, and said that a previous guest had installed highly sophisticated cameras in the room, and that the patron needed to destroy these cameras immediately. So he gave him detailed instructions how to get rid of the cameras. Told them to go smash the TV. Told him to smash all the mirrors, remove the back toilet cover, smash things with it. Had him do all these things. And the guy was literally, okay, do that? Okay. He'd set down the phone, go smash it, come back to the phone. Go smash something, come back to the phone. And he kept doing this. Well, that was just not working quickly enough. So he gave his cell phone number to this mystery caller to give him instructions on the go so that they were able to trash the place more efficiently because he could just hold on to his phone and bam, 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 bam. Yeah, police got there. The guy was still giving him instructions, so the patron hands the phone to the police. The guy keeps barking out instructions and then realizes it's the police and says, I have the wrong number. Hangs up. It was a blocked call. They have no way to determine who this person was.
Now, I'm all in favor of scamming the old. Like, if you are on this planet, you should live like everyone else. You know, they want rights, just like everyone else, except when they're getting scammed. It's like, oh, you can't scam us. No, if you can scam a 30-year-old and you're like, well, you got to be careful, or you can scam the elderly out of like thousands of dollars, and like, oh, these people, they no shame? Like, no, easy pickings. This I don't understand. Like, this is just mischief. Like, you got to free the midget. Apparently, this guy cares about midgets a little too much too. Oh, there's a midget. I gotta rescue this midget.
He's trying to go. Free him!
This happened to an ESPN reporter not too long ago. A couple months ago, I swear to God, it was on ESPN.com, to where one of the reporters, I don't know what town she was in, somebody called up her room and said, there's a fire in there, go smash her window. She smashed the window, chair went flying through the window. Hotel security came up, she goes, I got a call on the phone, and they called it up, same thing, block called. So this is going around, but this is the first time I ever heard about a midget.
Actually, it was Aaron Andrews that was with the midget.
Well, let's assume that I was not there, so, all right. Let's assume that this is going on.
Show we did not make a midget joke yet.
Yeah, it was implied. It was implied with both of you jackasses. All right. Now, let's say either of you're in a hotel and you get a call, and someone, I'm whoever with law enforcement. There's a sting going on. We need you to run out of your room pantsless. And I mean, would you ever just listen to instructions from some random caller?
Well, I run around pantsless in the hotel already, but I wouldn't do it because a random law enforcement tells me to. I would hope that the town I'm in has better law enforcement, that they would take care of it without having to, involve me.
Well, and I was going to say fair enough, but I've realized that I say that all the time, so that's got to be part of the radio exposed drinking game. Louis saying fair enough.
And with my yeah, we can add that to the drinking game.
There you go.
All right.
I probably say that too much too, so every time I say there you go, have another drink.
So that's what's going on, and we're actually, this is almost like a continuation of what's going on. It's like what's going on plus. This story I posted earlier in the week, and weird things happen with this, because I posted a story about an actor that was on One Ugly Betty episode, and they made it a point to include Ugly Betty in just about every paragraph in this thing. Ugly Betty actor slays mom with sword. And like, okay, well, which America Ferrera go nuts? No, just a guy that was in one episode. When I first read this, it said that he beheaded his mother, and he had to be tased by New York City police. And then I started getting comments on my Facebook that weren't involved in the story. And one of the things was repent sinner. So like, okay, I'm trying to think, because I made a Highlander joke when I posted the story. I put there can be only one, which is what I do with every beheading story because I can't help myself. So I'm like, okay, repent sinner, what part of Highlander was that? And then I clicked on the story again, and I realized that there's a completely different story on the link now that mentions no beheading and no tasing, but equally as funny. So this actor, Michael Brea, now he's just stabbed his mother repeatedly, while he was screaming, "Repent, sinner," repeatedly, according to the neighbors. And then they stopped hearing her scream, and they realized she's probably dead. So let's just assume she is still beheaded, and that the cops said, "Don't release that information. Can you change your story around?" So we still have this beheaded lady who apparently was sinning. And it's one of those things where I almost want that to be one of our taglines now, where just every once in a while we just say, "Repent, sinner."
I'm all for it.
All right. But yeah, Michael Brea, 31. Let's do it. Let's roll dice. Repent, sinner.
We're rolling with it.
So he's undergoing psychiatric evaluation. He killed his mother with a 3-foot samurai sword.
Yep.
And
I'll admit, when I saw the blurbs come across too, I thought the same thing. Oh, wait, one of the stars of that show. And yeah, then you realize they did this not long ago, last season of Sopranos. An actor from The Sopranos does this. No, he was a guy that has been a bit part on like 2 episodes. He was not I'm thinking James Gandolfini snapped. No.
Repent, sinner. You never accepted Jesus. That was another thing he shouted with sword in hand. God. You never accepted Jesus. So yeah, Ugly Betty killings.
Maybe this is the start of a spree.
All right.
Bit part actors from that show are going to be killing their family members all over the world.
All right. Dare I answer this? Last time
Probably
I answered
not.
this phone, last time I answered the call from this line, we heard things. It was like screams from Satan himself. Let's try it. All right. Superstar, are you on the line?
No Satan today, man.
That is a clear phone line. Nicely
that
done.
Very clear.
That is a clear phone line for a change.
We're still waiting for your partner in crime.
I just received word he will be calling in momentarily. I was calling just to get a little extra glimpse of what you guys are talking about and see what I can contribute.
Oh, good. Yeah, he was. He said he's listening, and he wanted to chime in on some TSA stuff and some of the other silly crap we were talking about. So for those of you, go ahead.
He's got some late-breaking news, and I'll let him report because I think it benefits him more than anybody else.
Okay.
But I'll let him report when he gets on the line.
All right. When he gets on the line, for right now, we'll intro your show. You guys are the Third Man In on thethirdmanin.com, also a blog talk radio show like us. So there's actually a topic we want to talk about with you guys that concerns blog talk radio that the listeners will have absolutely no clue unless they all decide to call in. We all actually do. We do have room for 50 callers at one time. I don't know how that would sound. I mean, right now we have, technically 3 callers. Not bad so far. Which, when we do our live,
I can actually hear everybody pretty well.
Yeah, well, when we do our live death pool draft, I might not have to mute everybody while they're making their picks. But with the clear sounding, with the clear sound right now, I almost want to dedicate like maybe 10 lines, and we can get some like Gregorian chanting in the background. So like we won't have an actual music bed, we can just have actual chanting in the background, which would sound clear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about 50 people, but if you get them in unison, it might not sound bad at all.
And get some harmonizing going. Oh, that would be awesome. So yeah, the Third Man In is a hockey call-in show. Well, sometimes call-in show. You guys are the same restrictions as we do, that there's no screener. So he'd have to stop the show and start talking to somebody. Like, if I wanted to take calls, like we do, we have a phone number. We can take calls. But I would have to tell Louie, like, hey, talk, because I got to answer the phone. Like, the pace of the show just goes away then. But if you have any hockey questions, did you guys move to Mondays yet, or are you guys still Tuesday?
No, Mondays start tomorrow with the Blackhawks having a game on Tuesday. We moved to Monday for future, for the foreseeable future. I don't know if
move back to Tuesdays. I think a lot obviously depends on the schedule, which I don't have in front of me. So for the time being, we're Mondays, 8 o'clock, Blog Talk Radio. Good stuff. If you haven't had a chance to take a listen.
And Chris Block, who is the other co-host, he does a great job with his inside sources. He does a lot of Rockford Ice Hogs stuff. Blogs daily, constant updates on thethirdmanin.com, and he's very thorough. If you have any hockey stuff, tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock on thethirdmanin.com. And it's the third. I made that mistake the first couple times. It's not just Third Man In. thethirdmanin.com.
Correct. And spell third out, not 3RD. Yeah, spell the word out.
Yeah. Third. THIRD. Correct. Yeah. We should have talked Ugly Betty a little more. Because, we still have 5 minutes to kill until the time this interview was supposed to start. That's Radio Exposed. That's the bang-up job that we do on this show.
I see you guys kind of fly by the seat of your pants like we do.
and I'm the one that's supposed to be giving you tips.
It's really hard work to make it sound like that. We actually get together and we do the show 3 times in a row, and we unpolish it each time so that it sounds more and more natural and ridiculous when we finally actually share it with the world.
Maybe that's our problem.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are you there?
I'm here.
The Third Man In link is on our website.
Yes, that is awesome of you for bringing that up. Go to I have it under I don't even know what I have it under. It's somewhere on our website.
It's on the bios page under Friends of the Program. Just click on thethirdmanin.com. It'll take you right to their page.
So joining us now on Radio Exposed is Chris Block. Let's see, I got this written down here. It's our first ever guest on Radio Exposed, by the way. We've never had official call-in guests. But Chris Block is the writer, editor, and keeper of thethirdmanin.com. How you doing, Chris?
How you doing, guys?
So I heard you have late-breaking news.
Yes. Fantastic. Thanks for having me on. But more important than anything, other than that, Leslie Nielsen dead.
Leslie Nielsen dead.
Leslie Nielsen, as of a half an hour ago, dead.
Well, I'm going to have to bring up. Does anyone have our website up? Because I can't bring it up because I'm involved in so many other things with the website right now. Did someone draft him?
I'm looking right now.
I believe he was drafted.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I can pretty much confirm that he was drafted.
Oh, was he one of your picks?
Yeah. Block drafted him, and with the 35th pick, he was 83 years old.
83. So that
84 now, but yeah.
So that puts you in second place. I will have to update the website once the show is done. I'll have to cross out Leslie Nielsen's name, and that gives you 16 points. Congratulations on being the second scorer in the Radio Exposed Celebrity Death Pool.
I'm moving up. I'm going to take this thing. I know it.
So, we were talking that you are a hockey show, and it's tomorrow at 8, right? You have moved to Monday officially.
Yes.
All right, so tomorrow, 8 o'clock, listen, all your hockey questions can go directly to there at thethirdmanin.com. How long have you guys been doing the show? Or
they can just email me because I don't want to talk to them. I don't want, it would be better off if you just email Chris Block at thethirdmanin.com, and I'll read their questions on the air and I'll answer them because I really have no time to speak to anybody.
Yeah, that's true. That's why we haven't given out our phone number either. But how long have you guys been doing the show now?
About a year and a half. It was an idea that I had a long time ago, but I didn't know there was things like Blog Talk Radio and all that. I'm really, even though I'm on the internet all the time and I know how to find information and all that, I don't know really how to. I've never been able to access or use the internet properly because I don't know all the ways that all the things that are out there. So I had this idea, but in my mind it was like, well, I have to build a studio. You know, I had no idea that there was things like Blog Talk Radio or the other ones that are out there. And then once I sort of came across it, I'm like, well, I could do that. And I mean, it's debatable whether or not I can do it, but we've been doing it for a year and a half, and you know, it's been going pretty good.
Yeah, you are actually the inspiration for Radio Exposed because I've been helping you guys out because you guys don't have any type of radio background, and I do. You know, we went to broadcasting school. I've been working at a radio station now for 7 years, and I'm like, if these two guys could do this show and have, you know, success with it, why the hell aren't we? You know, we had a pretty good run in broadcasting school with Radio Exposed. Why aren't we doing this? So we were in the same boat as you guys. Like, we didn't want to build a studio, I guess.
Yeah, not really an option.
No, the Blog Talk Radio. I mean, besides some of the, you know, we have gotten some complaints about, like, oh, it sounds like Louie's on the phone. Well, he is.
Yes, he's actually on a phone line.
So until, you know, some things get changed, yeah, this is kind of what. But Blog Talk Radio has been pretty good with everything. You know, you get the MP3 right away. I can send everything out. There's links everywhere, and you know, you promote your show, you know, similar to the way I promote my show. So, or our show. It's my show. My name is First. Yeah, I threw it.
Can I talk to you about that for a second, Tinky?
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you a question because I was listening. I was going to come on the show until I was praised. So then once I heard that, I called in. But you know, I think of the name Tinky, okay, and this kind of like, I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if you've ever spoken about that, but to me, you know, I mean, the show is good, and I don't know that you guys really you're going anywhere with it. But when I think of Tinky, I think there's amazing potential. I think there's amazing potential in Tinky actually as like a superhero cartoon character. You ever thought of, you know, like creating Tinky the character and making a cartoon out of it?
Like a comic?
Yeah, like a comic. Like see, the thing that like struck me, you could be like a superhero cartoon character who's like dubious for being a horrible hero. But you just happen to be in the right place at the right time, you know, in a couple of landmark cases, and then the comic is just you stumbling through case after case after case, and instead of it always working out, you always fail. And then like, you know, one day your luck turns around, and you get busted for, you know, being a pee-pee Tom in women's restrooms and, you know, hiding behind clothes racks and drilling holes in women's dressing rooms at Lane Bryant.
I like it. I'm strangely comfortable with it. I mean, that's what I do on weekends anyway. You know, peepholes and stuff, and glory holes. And I found out the wrong way that you can't just install a glory hole anywhere. Like, there's permits involved. But yeah,
I'm picturing a bloated Pink Panther.
Like we have a guest, not a guest, a friend of the show who did our logo, who does artwork. We could try to hire him to do like a Tinky, and we can include Louie. You know, I want to see him in a cape, and probably only a cape.
You know, full disclosure,
I'd be wearing pants.
I've met Tinky. I've been around Tinky, so some of this is coming from firsthand experience. But you know, I just thought of that, and I mean, I don't need any credit, but I do want monetary gain if there is any.
Okay, yeah, like it's on tape now, so yeah, this is your idea. Let's get the ball rolling on that.
Executive producer. Can I just sit at home and every once in a while like email some ideas and collect big checks?
That'd be awesome. I mean, first we got to collect big checks to give you big checks.
Yeah, I can get my first third man in check.
I mean, right now I can pay you in like rice checks or Trident layers or something, but
anything.
So let's see, some more questions. Okay, the Blackhawks, just like over the last couple of years, have gotten big. Like, it's now the thing, especially after the Stanley Cup win. So you are now having more and more, like, you being a hockey fan, you're having the people that weren't hockey fans that are coming back to like, what's the dumbest question you constantly get? Like, hey, you're a hockey guy. What, fill in that blank.
I think the position that I'm at, it's pretty unique in that we're so, the internet's a funny place because there's so many people. Like when you get to things like Blog Talk Radio or thethirdmanin.com, where it's more, singularly focused web surfers, they're looking for something very specific to entertain them, to inform them, or, whatever that they're involved or they want to engorge themselves in. So I tend to get more of the learned fan, or at least the fan that believes or tries to think of themselves as a smart fan. I think that if you wanted an answer to that question, I think a really good person would be to talk to like the beat writers because they're getting that more so than anything. I get a little bit of that, but more than anything, I find myself arguing with people that jumped on board 3 years ago who think now that they know everything about the game because they've watched 200 games in the last 3 years, and all of a sudden they know everything. So I get more of that. So it's more arguing with people that don't know history or really can't get their facts straight. So to answer your question, I think more than anything, it's just puck goes in the net, goalie bad. Puck doesn't go in the net, goalie great, and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's different. The internet's very weird. I mean, people think, like things like Twitter, which is I think is just like the most god awful, place in the world, with people making like authoritative and declarative statements based on absolutely nothing, and then forgetting they ever said it 2 days later. I mean, everybody's got an opinion, and everybody thinks that they're the smartest person in the room. But there's really, I don't know. The internet's just a funny. I hate the internet actually, but I occupy a little space on it. So
yeah, well, there's a great stance on internet radio.
You can listen, but I hate it.
So you are a conduit of which I do not like. You could have like an irrational hatred moment on your show. It's like, I hate the way that I'm speaking to you.
Hate the technology.
I mean, you could just sit on like your roof with a microphone or like a megaphone, even just like, hey, here's my hockey thoughts. Listen, I am the Moses of hockey. Yeah.
I do it late at night when I sit outside with the dog. That's when I do that.
All right, so you go to Rockford a lot. You see a lot of Ice Hogs hockey. How's the future of the Blackhawks looking?
They're bad. I mean, the thing is, they're very young still. I mean, the Blackhawks have a few pretty good guys like Nick Leddy, Jeremy Moore, and they're going to be Blackhawks one day, and it looks like they're going to be pretty good Blackhawks. Nick Leddy, a young defenseman, 19 years old out of Minnesota. Jeremy Moore, who the Blackhawks acquired in the trade that sent Dustin Byfuglien to Atlanta over the summer. He's a young kid, 19 years old, out of Buffalo, winger. Early returns are that he's going to be a good, solid pro. At least a third-line player. So, I mean, he'll be a good player. But anything else other than that in Rockford's pretty much a crapshoot. There's this idea that the Blackhawks have this amazing depth in their farm system, and that while that may have been the case about 2 or 3 years ago, it's just right now it's hard to say that. Defensively, there's a couple of really good kids. One that's still in college, Dylan Olsen, who's a guy kind of in the Brent Seabrook mold. He's a few years away. They have some good prospects. They're just a few years away, especially if you consider, and I say this all the time, the Blackhawks right now are aiming to be an elite hockey club. It's not 2006 anymore, where fans are so quick to want to see guys like Morin and Leddy and get them up in the lineup. I mean, you take a look, when you watch Thomas Kopechki and he does something that angers you, all of a sudden you want to, the answer is the young kid in the minors. And that's not the answer. When those kids come up, you want them to be ready to contribute and stay for the long haul, and those kids aren't ready to do that yet. And, so that there are guys, but overall, Rockford's the worst team in their division, worst team in their conference right now. And, one of their top prospects, Kyle Beach, is a guy who may never really make it because there's something missing upstairs that he just can't focus on the ice and just do what he needs to do, use his body, use his strengths, and focus on that. He's always involved in the silly stuff, kind of in the Sean Avery kind of a mold, easily sidetracked. So it remains to be seen, but Letty and Morin for sure will be up in a year or two and be good players in the Blackhawks.
So you mentioned Thomas Kopechki. The one thing that he does that really irritates me is spell the name the way he does. And I think this is one thing that I don't like about hockey players is can you just get a phonetic spelling? Like, is that too much to ask? Like, I want to spell Bufflin how it sounds. Like, I don't need the extra letters.
Yeah, well...
if you want to get down to the basics. Is that the dumbest question you've ever asked or ever got asked you? And no,
I don't know.
After
the show, I'm going to be up all night listing all these questions, and I'll get back to you. But, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of them, but there are a lot of, specifically Russian players that have come over and changed the spelling of their last name, just so it was easy to spell. I mean, there's a lot of guys that their names are mispronounced, and they just don't care, or things like that. So, whatever. I don't care.
Vladikov, Smith, Vladikov. Yeah, I would love that. But they keep the pronunciation the same. That'd be awesome. So, if anyone else has hockey questions, email them to the show tomorrow, and you get all your hockey information. But for now, we actually have some other business. Since you guys are Blog Talk Radio as well, you know of the British lady.
Right.
We're going to try to name her. Because, there's this lady, like we sign on for the show about 15 minutes before, and she's like, 14 minutes. I don't know why that's my British, but 14 minutes left on your thing, and we're trying to talk back and forth. Like, okay, so you got all your papers in order, and then she just dominates your ears and then cuts you off, like you're no longer audible. So we're going to name her so we can be angry at her.
Let me go on record as saying you have the worst British accent. British accent, anybody can do a British accent. You have the worst British accent I've ever heard.
Oh, no, it's awful. I think it sounded like my Russian accent, actually.
Yeah, actually very similar, and that's not good.
No, if we have to have a British accent come on the show, this girl I actually did some drinking with yesterday has one of the most dead-on Cockney accents I've ever heard. So, we'll get into that a little bit. I had an interesting night last night. I think we can get into that before the guest time ends, because we've had a lot of interesting nights between, me, Superstar, and Block. But, this British lady, we might have to have, a couple of drinks.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Tinky, what is it about the British lady that annoys you? Because I've been doing this on Blog Talk a lot longer than you have, but I honestly, I guess I've tuned her out because I don't even notice her anymore. I mean, I hear the 30 seconds and then the 10, and I just know. But anything before that, around that, I don't even hear it anymore. So,
well, it doesn't really bother me as much. Are you against
the British in general? Maybe that's the thing. Are you anti-British?
No, for the most part, I'm fairly pro-British. I'm anti-British dentistry, but this question was brought up actually by Dickie, who wants to name the British lady.
She's like a Nazi. She's like 15 seconds till your radio show starts. It's like, okay, scaring the crap.
I don't think she's a Nazi. Her tone I always feel like she's talking down to me. Like I'm never going to be good enough.
Everybody's talking down to you, midget.
That is true. Yeah, you do look up at a lot of people.
And the thing about her though, and her countdown is that while she's counting down your live stream, the show actually doesn't end when she gets to 3210. It keeps going. It just stops streaming online.
Yeah, I noticed that when I downloaded the MP3 of the last show, that it went on for because I just left left the ending song playing, and then it was still playing. Like I went to the kitchen, grabbed some water, and like, why is it still on? I thought it would have turned off by now. And yeah, it stopped on the website, but it's still going on the switchboard and on the MP3. So I guess that's bonus coverage. I guess you can get the odd Russian singing, because the ending song I have it's in Russian. I like the beat, and the lyrics are Russian lyrics. They're a Russian band, but so yeah, I guess I'm pro-Russian today. Whatever that means.
Do that accent for us again.
The British one or the Russian one?
The Russian.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I'm having enough trouble with the English. So yeah, that's our thing. When we get together, we need to come up with a name, because we're going to make her our producer. We're actually going to hire her. We're firing Dudley. Like, we're going to keep Sharma and the half-faced monkey as producers, but Dudley's gone, and he just found out about that. So he's leaving. So we're going to hire the British lady as our new producer. This show just came to a screeching halt. I haven't heard from Superstar in a while. Are you still on the line?
I'm trying to, you always try to picture when you hear somebody's voice and you obviously have no idea what they look like. I don't know about you guys. I always try to picture what that person looks like. So that's what I'm actually trying to, picture while we've been talking about this British lady who talks down to you. And you know what? I guess I'm like Block. I guess I don't notice her at all either. That may come from us jumping on our show about 2 seconds before it starts. So we don't have to listen to much of a countdown, but yeah, I'm trying to picture what this woman would look like.
I'm guessing if I want her to be like part of our staff, I want her to like be the Orbitz lady, or the gum, not the airline deal thing. It's like dirty mouth, clean it up.
I don't think that's who she is. I think she's like the host from that the old Weakest Link show.
Oh,
she's a haggard old broad, and she's just full of hate.
Or the psychic lady with the really short, odd, spiked red hair, where she's like, oh god, she awful too. Another awful British person. Her and the Weakest Link host kind of are similar to me. What do you think, Dickie?
I'm going with the. I'm trying to think. I'd say it's more towards the lines of like being the Queen of England. That's who I imagine this lady being, and she's always right and you're always wrong.
And she's just waving at us. Actually, that's how she's going to signal that the show's almost ended, with like a queenly wave.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have a question for you, Chris. I have 4 people on the line right now, and 3 of them have a handprint with a red arrow. And the reason I had to ask if Superstar was still on the line is because his phone doesn't have that. So I was wondering, do you know what that means?
No.
Or have you not had this many people on the line before?
No, you know what? I don't even pay it. I mean, I look at the board, and what I have is I have a few people that, not every week, but like truck drivers that'll call in just so they could listen. Yeah, I haven't taken calls in a while, so it's pretty much just me, him, and whoever the guest is. So,
you're big in the truck driving community, huh?
Yeah. Truck drivers and prostitutes, yeah.
We need to, start. I probably need to go to some rest areas and leave our info on some of the boards there. Because if truck drivers are going to just crisscross the area and call in, I'm all in favor.
Worked for me.
I thought that's what you did on the way back from Iowa City.
Oh yeah. Yeah, anyone traveling back from Iowa City, welcome. You can give us a little horn honk. That's the requirement. If you're going to be on the line with us, you have to honk your horn and honk your prostitute. The 3-tooth thing that you found at Iowa's biggest rest stop.
Prostitute.
Yeah, don't forget to tip your prostitute. That's another PSA for Radio Exposed. Don't forget to tip your hooker. And also, if you do get ripped off by your hooker, don't call the cops. We learned that earlier. So how much of the show did you guys listen to, if you guys wanted to give any input on anything you've heard? Did you get any TSA talk?
I did not, no.
I did not.
Now, yeah, we're it seems like the show's taken a pro pat down stance. Where is the third man in on airport pat downs?
Are you kidding? We pay extra for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pretty much same boat. How much extra would you pay? Because this is actually an argument that almost happened.
Another point. There's another point.
Yeah,
well, I think it depends on the who's what the person looks like who's doing the patting.
Exactly, and that's where it gets tricky. You don't know who's going to be patting you down when you make that investment.
Now, if there's like a line thing, like if you're at the bank where like a single line forms and then a teller opens up and then the line gets split out there, like, are you sitting there like 5 deep going, I hope it's number 4, I hope it's number 4, please be line number 4, and then, like, oh, nah, I got to get pat down by that guy. Or like, do you have to like pick a line? Like, if there's like a hot girl doing it, is her line like a hell of a lot longer and like they got like odd wait times? Here's a question for everybody, listening and all you guys. If you're in line at the airport, there's like 7 lines to get patted down, and the one line is really long, but it's a hot chick. Would you go in a shorter line that isn't a hot chick, or would you wait in line?
I'd wait in line.
Go. First of all, I'm going in the shorter line because, all right, here's the deal. I'm as Block. I am very easily aroused. Okay, so I mean, for me to go into first of all, I don't need anybody touching me unnecessarily in an airport in which I could get aroused and then have to figure out a way to get unaroused before I get on the plane. It's unnecessary. Now, even if it was a hot chick, I mean, really, what's going to happen? Even if she gets me to that point, it's not like she's going to finish me right there. So, what's the point of even getting her hopes up, or mine? So, I'm going with the ugliest man, and I'm going to cross my fingers and pray that I don't get aroused while he's touching me.
Now, here's a question: why can't you be aroused when you're on the plane? I mean, you're not allowed to bring other loaded weapons on the plane. You can. That one's allowed, I think. I don't think they make you check that in.
Well, that's one of the things why I have a really hard time, so to speak, sleeping on planes, is because I'm always worried that when I wake up, I will have airplane wood, and then the person sitting next to me will see that, and it will become an issue.
I have never ever heard anyone that had this issue that had to be concerned about that. This is fantastic.
If you're having a problem getting the lap belt on, you might just give yourself some room. But yeah, airplane wood. I guess.
And it's not like you can. It's not like you could just leave your laptop sitting on your lap in case because there's a motor in there and it's working and it gets warm and you're gonna get hard anyway. So it's really a crapshoot. So I just tend to try to stay awake, unless I'm sitting next to Superstar. Then I don't care if I wake up with wood. It's not like he's gonna do anything. So
you know what? After this, I'm never flying with you again.
I don't think anyone's flying ever again.
Tinky, I did get a little a message here from one of our live listeners, and it simply says, "Straight class, this show, straight class."
Hey, that's all we strive for.
That's pretty good. He's loving the airplane wood commentary.
Straight, well, obviously, we're a fairly new show. I mean, we were on for a long time before, but we're new again to people. This is only our 4th show on Block Talk. We're looking for taglines, and straight class, I think, is something we might start pointing.
Straight class, ... airplane wood.
Or actually, something I learned last night is that some people listen to us when they're taking a dump. So I'm gonna use that possibly. Hey, the thing you listen to when you're taking a dump, which is better than actually listening to us take a dump. That could be
So does that person have iPod speakers in their bathroom?
You'd hope so. If they're dedicated to our show, where they're like, I can't wait till I'm done with this. I got to bring this in.
Have you ever?
Maybe it's our show is a laxative.
I did this the other day. I was watching something on I was watching, actually, it was a hockey game on one of my computers. It was a laptop, and while I was sitting there, it was going on live, and while I was sitting there, I really had to go number 2. So I had a decision to make. I couldn't. It was a live stream, so I couldn't pause it. So I could either try to hold out the 5 or 6 more minutes until the period ended, or I could unplug the laptop and bring it in with me and sit it on my lap while I go number 2, and I chose the latter. Have you ever done that?
You almost have to. When you say live stream, are you talking about the show or the bathroom?
No. Yeah. I had macaroni salad beforehand. That's what happened. But
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this show took a wrong turn. I want all of our guests to be as lowbrow as this show has turned, and I'm definitely fully responsible. Where the hell were we?
Can I ask you a question, Tinky, about something I heard on last week's show?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, you seem to have a lot of issues with public restrooms, and I'm not really understanding why. First of all, why are you against someone going into a public restroom and brushing their teeth?
It's not that I was against it. It was that, I have now come to terms with it. Like, it's just one of those things that I personally didn't like. But I understand. There's a sink. Do it. Just clean. Just clean up with yourself. That's now my issue. If you're going to do it, fine. I got over my. It's not. I guess phobia wouldn't be the right word, but just clean. While it's wet. It's easier that way.
What is your list of things to do in the bathroom?
I threw out those notes. Now I got to rethink of this. To do. You go in. You do what the room was intended for you to do. Wash your hands. Leave. That room is not a gathering area. It's not like a green room. You're not going to sit there and have cocktails. Just get out of there. I mean, you may if you're a Idaho congressman, but just get the hell out of there. You're in there for a specific reason, and then leave. I do a lot of things in the public restroom, so I don't think you and I could ever work at the same place. No, definitely. Well, I don't know any place that I would work at that would hire you.
As long as there's familiar elbows, right, Block? Familiar elbows.
Yeah, I have to use the stall a lot because I have a thing where unless there's a familiar elbow or a wall immediately next to me, no matter how bad I have to urinate, I won't release unless I have that scenario.
Well, if you guys watch the video that we have posted on our website, you don't need to worry about familiar elbows because if someone's next to you in that urinal, you go in the stall anyway, or you wait.
Well, I've seen that video when I used to have a MySpace page, and I paid someone to update that thing for me because I can't stand people. So but I had that video on my MySpace page. It might even still be there if that thing still exists.
Yeah, I got that on my MySpace page too, which I only really recently started going on to promote the show. Yeah, I subscribe heavily to what that video offers because I believe at the end of that video, when the whole world collapses, that is what happens if you talk in the bathroom.
Well, Tinky, another message that just came in, shockingly from Big Willie, wanted to chime in again on the bathroom talk. He and Laz shared cocktails today in the crapper at Soldier Field.
Shared cocktails?
And I'm
were they drinking from the same straw?
I can only imagine. I just don't know if it was beverages that they purchased there or if it was some of the beverages that they brought in with them.
Well, I hope it's a beverage cocktail and not anything else because that bathroom can get a little shady.
You think?
All right. Well, this was some interview, huh? You know what? I want a carbon copy of this interview with every guest that comes on. Next week, our guest will be the inventor of Holler.com, the social networking site, and I know he'll bring the lowbrow. Much like you guys. You guys did not disappoint. Yeah, you guys definitely did not disappoint. Tune in tomorrow on thethirdmanin.com, fully spelled out. Not it's THIRD for third, not the number 3 and then RD. So thethirdmanin.com. We have a link on our website, and go there tomorrow 8 o'clock and get all your hockey info. including like why Crawford's starting a lot of games all of a sudden. You know, you can get stuff like that. Well, what is on tap for tomorrow?
Well, we're hoping to have a guest that was actually on the road trip to discuss the Blackhawks 4-2 road trip and look ahead to St. Louis on Tuesday night, and then a big matchup with the Vancouver Canucks at the United Center on Saturday. I'll talk all about my recent trip to Rockford, including the altercation I had at Wendy's on Saturday night when I was leaving, and probably also a lot of good stuff.
Good. Well, I will definitely. I won't be listening during the show because I am working during it. But right when I get home, I will throw it in the iTunes and go hit the gym with Block and Superstar in my ear. So thank you for joining us. Greatly appreciated. We will definitely post stuff on our site to promote your show, and hopefully you guys can return that favor. We can get hockey fans on our show listening for some odd reason, and truckers.
Truckers specifically, that's what we want.
Yeah,
you want truckers.
I didn't lead with
the
hockey
fans.
Yeah, I didn't lead with the truckers, but I didn't want to make myself sound desperate.
I want to be the #1 podcast listened to at rest areas.
That would be so terrific. Like I don't, the Ice Road Truckers. Let's go to them. Like when you're watching History Channel. Yeah, I want everything in the background. Channel 19 on the CB and Tinky and Louie on Radio Exposed. It's like, hey, they're talking about bestiality again.
I'm telling you, Tinky and Louie would be a great Comedy Central sitcom. I'm going to go write the pilot right now, Tinky.
All right. Well, as with any other Comedy Central sitcom that isn't South Park or anything like that, that'll be short-lived. So thank you guys. This was a wonderful interview. We're going to get the horoscopes now. Say bye-bye to Block and Superstar.
Bye, Block and Superstar.
All right, thanks a lot for having us, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
So that was fun. Our first ever guest. I hung up on the right people, right? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was
awesome. So I guess Radio Exposed now with Tinky and Superstar.
Yeah, you can tell they're definitely much more polished at this podcast thing. But I'm glad to hear that they're also willing to dive into the gutter with us. That's good.
Oh, yeah, we've definitely had some odd bar outings, which I forgot to get into with them. I'll have to kind of talk to them later. Well, I did mention that. I did learn that we're being listened to on people's crappers. But, we actually have a topic for next week that we'll get into after horoscopes, just before we dive into the 52 Most Wanted. But if you can, start us out with Aries.
I can do that. All right. Before I start, let me just point out to you that Studio 1606 has dropped 2 degrees since we went on the air an hour and a half ago. So we're down to a brisk 47 degrees.
You forgot to get the space heater again, didn't you?
Well, no, I have one. And actually my wife said, just fire it up. It'll be fine. Fire it up. But the last time we fired it up in here was on a poker night, and it took down all the power for the lower level of the house. And I didn't feel like going through that. So I just decided to I'm just tougher now. But I'm going to have to come up with an alternative studio space probably by next week. But okay, let's jump into Aries here. Applying tactics found in classic American folktales to your problems seemed like a good idea, but it turns out collection agencies have gotten wise to the old tar baby trick.
Taurus, you'll try to set the world afire with the unbridled passion of your incandescent prose, but fail so badly you're hailed as the next John Updike.
Gemini, in the end, you won't wish you'd done anything differently. You'll just wish you hadn't had to do anything.
Cancer, you thought having a cat would be fun, but it's been 10 days and it hasn't gotten itself anything to eat yet.
Leo, love ends, sometimes bit by bit, sometimes suddenly, but it does end. That said, it's unusual for it to jump off a bridge like that.
Virgo, Mercury rising in your sign indicates things are getting hotter, as the Mercury has expanded, causing it to rise up the thermometer.
Libra, don't let people tell you that you can't be anything you want in life. surgical techniques and gene grafting will allow anyone to assume giraffe form.
Scorpio. Somehow you always thought that when you got to a certain age, the clothes would be a lot better.
Sagittarius. Life may be a series of small and inevitable defeats culminating in death, but look at it this way. You won't have to put up with as much of it as most people.
Capricorn. You thought there was nothing in life that the music of Al Green couldn't fix, but then you found out about reactor meltdowns, crop failure, and cardiac embolisms.
Aquarius. You will soon get a nicer job selling higher quality sweatpants to a somewhat better class of people.
And Pisces. This week will be a week of surprises, or surprise after surprise, which will become tiresome after a few hours, terrifying after a few days, and unspeakable after that. And that's horoscopes. And real quick, before we get into our next topic, which is our signature topic, it is when you think Radio Exposed, you think our next topic. Next week, we're going to be talking more about this particular fellow, but a streak was broken last night. An era came to an end. I, Tinky, heard a Justin Bieber song. So it's hard to talk about right now because I'm still in shock from what happened last night. I have seriously I might have heard a song. No one's mind to point out. I don't listen to the stations, even though I technically work for one of them that plays his music. He was in our studios. He was walking around the building, and he performed live we have a little stage set up, and I still have not heard this kid sing. I saw him on national anthems. I watch sports on mute usually, so I have avoided this kid. I've not even heard him speak. And whenever he does interviews, it's usually on mute on TVs that I watch. So last night, we're in a bar in St. Charles, and a girl puts money in the jukebox, and she points to the cuts I'm going to put in this song to make her mad, and she starts typing in J-U-S. I'm like, oh no, please be something that's, and yeah, Bieber. I'm like, okay, now do I run out of the bar before the song plays, and then the song played right away. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's start a new streak after the song. So we'll get into Justin Bieber stuff. We're going to have a poll question after this show for next week's show that'll be Justin Bieber related. But why is Willie calling us?
Willie is calling?
He called on...
I'll tell you right now.
I don't know how to answer that.
I'd put him on. I'd put Willie on. I'm sure he's got something just genuinely fantastic to say, but be ready to drop him quick. He is quite intoxicated, as the 26 straight messages he has sent me on Facebook would indicate.
Well, no, here's the thing. He's calling me on Google Talk, so he can only talk to me, and I can only talk to him on the show. So you guys
give him the number. Listening. Give him the number. You put Pete on the radio, and I think we've got ourselves some national attention.
I would like if it were earlier, I would. The segment we're getting into next is going to just consume too much time, but that would have been.
I'd get him on and just ask him, well, "What's your top 5, Pete?" and just see what he throws out, because it'll be entertaining.
I'm just picturing me talking to you guys, and I'm not answering the phone. I can't ignore. He's going to keep calling. So basically, Next week, Bieber. Now he's okay. It's gonna. I might have to turn this off.
Tink, also know this. Willie is known when he gets very drunk at bars to play Hannah Montana songs.
Well, yeah,
over and over.
Yeah.
I've rickrolled many a bar, which our bar got.
Indeed, as have I.
Well, Rickroll is fine. Hannah Montana? No. I don't want to hear that at a bar.
This is hard to do a show when you have this Google Talk chime in your ear every couple seconds, but we're going to do it. I can take
the will not be ignored.
He is calling on Google Talk. He wants to talk to me on Google Talk, and you guys won't hear him, so you'll just hear me talking. So, all right. I hope he understands that. So our segment, the 52 Most Wanted Celebrity Females, is something we did in 2003, just after the United States went into Iraq. If some of you may know, some of you are servicemen and women out there, you guys were issued playing cards with all the Iraqi criminals on there, with Saddam Hussein being the ace of spades. And shortly after, we came up with the idea to do the same thing, but with celebrity females. So we put together, it was about a month worth of shows where we asked everyone for their top 5. Give us your top 5, and we will use those as like a voting platform. If one girl gets more votes than another girl, she'll be weighted higher when we do the final ranking. And those were some of the best shows we did, where we just sat there, we just had fun. People were coming in the studio that weren't part of the show at all. They were like, "Hey, you guys mentioned the Olsen twins? They're not legal yet, so no."
No.
So what we're going to do is, and we've got a really good start. I emailed a lot of people on Facebook, and I've got well over 100 names already. But what we're asking you, the people out there, give me your top 5. Your top 5 celebrity females, and you don't have to be a male either. If last time I did this in 2007, when we didn't have a show, I just did it on Facebook, and just released which is now it's on our website on the extra section, is the deck that we made in 2007. Give us your top 5, and we will do the rest on the air starting in January. There's 5 shows that we're going to be doing in January. The 5th one on January 30th will be the day we announce the deck. That's 52 Most Wanted, ranked in playing card order, with 4 jokers too. We throw in a couple of jokers, and an instruction card. If we feel the need.
An instruction card.
So that's what we need from you guys. Email us at tinkyandlouie@radioexposed.net, your top 5, and we won't announce you. There's actually several people that have expressed concern that their significant other would find out. You're not going to post this, are you? No, we're not. We're not posting anything except for the final deck. Everything is going to be between us. So if you have an odd thing, the only thing is there's 2 rules. 1, they have to be legal. That's 18 people. So 18 years of age. And there have been several where I got the email, I'm like, oh my God, really? And then I look, oh, she's 18. All right, she's on the list. I have one person, and I'm not going to name the name. I don't want to embarrass him, but I have gotten rid of one name. Dude, she's only 16. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah, she's 16. Despite how many vampire movies she's in. So the second rule is they do have to be a celebrity. That's and you're asking what's a celebrity. I would say let's go for models, for example. The top 5 to 10 Victoria's Secret models that are in all of them, they're the ones with the wings, the Heidi Klums of the world. I know she's retired now, but she counts. You can make Heidi Klum your person. Some girl that's on a Ralph Lauren commercial that's only found in Texas, she's not a celebrity. She might be hot. I mean, she might be more than hot, but not a celebrity. In porn, for example, I've gotten people that have porn stars. You could pick Jenna Jameson. You could pick there's I believe Brie Olson was mentioned. She is a very well known porn actress. You can't pick some girl that you saw on Skinamax that was in a scene 40 minutes into some bad low budget porn. She's not a celebrity. So that's kind of where the line is. Basically, if I have to look her up and it takes me 10 minutes, not a celebrity. So that's it. Free reign after that. Anybody else there? Or are we all talking to Willie? Is he calling you?
Has Willie tried calling the actual show yet?
No, I can't tell because he keeps calling on Google Chat.
Okay. He thinks he's actually calling the show. He's Yeah, he hears everything we say and is constantly jabbering at me.
He has called literally 30 times.
He's trying to call, and no one will answer. So
he's calling on Google Talk, which is, like, I'm cool with that. I can talk to him after the show, but during the show, I can't talk to him. So if anyone wants to Skype me during the show, go ahead.
Willie. We're definitely going to need to incorporate some kind of Willie feature, and we're going to have to make sure he has a couple cocktails before he graces us with his presence.
And a dump button.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, see, that's the trick with a live. We can always clean it up for later, but man, live, it's going to be a little tricky.
Yeah. So I'm looking at my rundown of other celebrity definitions. Like, let's say the world of sports. Last time we did this, Jenny Finch got several votes. She counts. She's a very famous athlete. Like the girls that keep winning beach volleyball gold medals at all the Olympics. Fair game. Figure skaters, if the well-known ones that are in the Olympics, fair game. The second baseman for the Nebraska softball team, no. If you started off by saying, oh yeah, gosh, she was the swimmer, not a celebrity. It's done. If you can't name her, you're not a celebrity.
Yeah,
so
agreed. It's got to. I mean, it doesn't have to be. There's going to be some, I don't know, some sleeper picks. There'll be some sleepers, but it's got to be at least moderately recognizable.
Yeah, and if you think that you're not, I don't want to vote for this person because everyone's already voting for, we need repeat votes. That's how we're going to determine whether they're a jack or an ace, is repeat votes.
And now, okay, yes, as I told you, you sent me the preliminary list of, some of the votes that we've had. And there's, some names that I'm obviously very familiar with, some that, I know that. I did see one on here that absolutely frightened me, and I won't ask you to reveal who it was that, this is all anonymous. I don't know or care who suggested this person, but anyone that puts this woman on their list of top 5 most beautiful celebrity women.
I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about.
Might as well be trolling for dudes.
Is she from the world of wrestling?
She may very well be.
Former Intercontinental Champion?
She may have her stage name may be a nation.
It's a country out there, and she spells it differently than the people of that most populous country.
But even grosser.
And
did you give him the number by any chance?
No, I may have.
You may have. All right. Are we ready for this? Actually,
let's do it.
Oh, hold on. Let me say a prayer.
Oh,
hi.
What's up,
Willie?
Yeah, that's right.
Now, Willie, I'm sure you've been listening all night. You know the topic right now. We're talking about hot celebrity females, and we are 100% positive that you've got some good suggestions for us.
Celebrities? I thought we were talking about the Bears.
We're already there, folks.
Oh, I just actually for a post game.
I definitely got a couple hot celebrities in mind now.
Yeah.
All right, well, throw some out there.
We need 5 from you.
I was a big fan of Brie Olson. I think that she was a huge hot celebrity.
Brie Olson.
All right, that's one we've tossed around a bit.
All right.
Sasha Grey, another fabulous one.
Who is that?
I'm sensing a theme here.
Sasha Grey,
Porn star and now actress. She was on this season's Entourage.
Yeah. If you need to know about a porn
Entourage,
star,
what's that?
bring on the expert.
What's Entourage?
It's a TV show on
not a porn.
Oh, I don't know. Unless you get that free online, I don't watch that shit.
Okay.
Is that a TV show or something?
Yeah. Entourage? Yeah, it's a TV show. I've never heard of it.
All right. Well, I'm out on that one.
All right. Do you have a third for us?
Third. No, I'm out. It's
All right,
two,
just
man.
two porn stars and you're
man.
done. he's
three
already
way
got to
too
change
many,
his pants.
Way too many.
All right, well, for this segment, we do have until the end of the year. Like, we're going through all of December getting your list of the 52 most wanted. So
I won't have to make my list. I'm going to have to get with you guys.
All right,
that
get
works.
Drinks.
We can always make time for Willie.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we were going to be doing some shots on there or something, I didn't know you were going to put me on the spot.
Oh, internet shots, huh?
Yeah. I mean, why not? I do shots at the bar, so why not online either,
Okay.
We'd be happy to have virtual shots with you, Pete. In fact, we are filling our glasses right now with 4 Loco.
Liquid Dark.
Oh, I haven't tried that one yet, but, whatever. I'm sure I've done worse.
So
I'm pretty sure you have too.
All right. Whoever wants to get on this, email us at tinkyandlouie@radioexposed.net or find us on Facebook. I did send the Facebook stuff. You shoot me a message on there. We have until New Year's Eve. That's when we will start taking the names that we have and making a deck out of that. And we will do that on the air. We will do it in 20 to 30-minute segments every week leading up to January 30th, where we will debate the girls on air. And those debates were fun last time. Do you remember the Allison Hannigan, Christina Aguilera argument?
I don't remember any particular arguments with her. I do remember that she actually listened to the debate episode, though.
Mm-hmm. No, not that Allison. The How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. I'm mixing up my Allison. Yes, I do.
I
remember what side of the argument I was at the time, and I've actually come full circle on that, or actually gone 180.
So have I. Where I don't like.
There you go. Well, that'll be a fun discussion.
Alrighty. Well, yeah. I guess you like your redheads aged a little bit.
Exactly. Like a fine wine.
And then you were on the Christina Aguilera bandwagon, and I thought that looking at her gave me crabs. So I'm like, I don't want her anywhere on the list. And I believe you got her pushed up a little bit. I think she was a face.
I may have. I don't say I regret it. I can't imagine I'd lobby hard for her this time around.
Now, if anyone wants to see what the 2007 deck looked like, go to radioexposed.net. It's in the extra section, most of the way down, and we have the complete ranking. We had several complaints. You're like, how is she on there? How is she on there? She's on there because you didn't vote. We need more votes. And also, if you
can't complain about the results.
If you have an obscure name where you're like, is she a celebrity? Is she not a celebrity? Send it to me, and if I okay it, last time there was a Bollywood actress who is like the most famous Bollywood actress. I'm actually not sure how to say her name. Actually, I forgot something. Aishwarya Rai. I don't know. Whatever. She got enough votes to push her to the Joker. Like one person named her. I'm like, well, a Bollywood actress, fine, whatever. And then she just kept getting more and more votes, and she didn't push into enough votes to get her on the deck. But all of a sudden, boom, she's a Joker. So if you got an obscure name, throw it out there. Maybe she gets votes, as long as she does count as a celebrity, though.
Agreed. So, and we've got we've got a BK suggested somebody for the list. He threw out Justin Bieber. Too young, too not female.
I believe, Justin Bieber is too young.
Nah, we all like him bald down below.
That's not being the only thing that would disqualify him from the list.
Bald Down Below. The worst Alkaline Trio song ever.
Which song?
Bald Down Below. Yeah, so next week we will. I hope BK is listening for the Justin Bieber stuff, because we're going to throw some stuff his way, because I don't think it's going to end well. So we have some other stuff we need to get to. So I will definitely post a lot more stuff about 52 Most Wanted. I'm going to be on everybody, because we do our best to make that segment radio exposed worthy, and that segment is us. So the next thing we have is the segment that we now have. It's now a weekly segment, the underrated hottie of the week. And are you guys familiar with Outsourced?
No.
Okay, I'm
not a...
vaguely, but I'll tell you, I see the intro to it every week. The first segment before the opening credits, and I have yet to see this the girl that you're about to bring out.
She is not in the credits, actually. Like, she's kind of a support actress, which makes her in the realm of underrated hottie of the week. When I mentioned Outsourced to a couple of people during the week, people thought they're going to go with the Indian girl, who is gorgeous. And she, with the show not doing so good in the ratings, I guess she could be qualified as an underrated hottie of the week. But since she is like one of the stars of it, we've kind of balked on it. So gotcha. Pippa Black, the Australian girl, who she is like another, kind of Western manager that goes and runs a call center in India, and they have like a little, the star Todd and Tanya, which she plays. They're having a little thing right now. But yeah, she is hot, and she hasn't been wearing a whole lot of stuff lately in that show either. So Pete, that's almost up your alley. Although she's not taking everything off.
Is he still there?
I should check. No, he dropped off. he dropped off.
He is unconscious.
He's probably unconscious, passed out on his couch.
Pete didn't drop the line. Pete blacked out the line.
Fade to Black Angus.
Fade to Black Angus.
So I've just posted on the Facebook page the new underrated hottie of the week, Pippa Black, and she's also on the website. Yeah, it's our first blonde, by the way. We've gone 3 brunettes, so now we just need a redhead.
We're branching out.
And we talked about this just before the show started during our little show prep. Do we have a sex act of the week, an official radio exposed sex act of the week? Last week it was Japanese dry brush.
Okay, well, I thought I'd been very clever with mine and leaving it open-ended, and I don't think I'm even going to share this one. I think I'm going to wait, and I'm going to drop out 2 next week because it appears there are already some fairly horrible connotations that go along with what I thought was a clever and unique thing. It's not clever and unique, and it was taken. I even did a search. I apparently didn't look in the right places because once Dickie started looking, Dickie found where it was, and he is apparently willing to go to much more horrible places on the web than I am willing to go to.
It's at Urban Dictionary. Come on now.
Urban Dictionary.
So do I have to go to one of my auxiliary sex acts of the week that I've been creating for the segment?
I'm going to say yes. Let's do that.
All right. I am going to have to look through my phone. I have an area in my phone where I just keep notes of things that come across my mind. So now I got to find where's my sex acts, which would be awesome if someone was on the train watching me type this stuff in. Let's see. The show idea vault. That's what I've named it. Did I not save it?
Show idea vault.
This show completely. Oh, here, Radio Exposed Sex Acts. All right. This week's Radio Exposed Sex Act of the Week, the Rawson County Corkscrew.
I like that.
The poll results for this week. What other activities would you like to see the stars do next? 53% of you said Overdosing with the Stars, which is actually a show I would pay to watch. Falling Down a Well with the Stars got 32%. Hot Tower Roofing with the Stars, 11%. And Raking Leaves with the Stars, 5%. So that's another stirring edition of Radio Exposed. We'd like to thank our guests, the guys from ThirdManIn.com, Chris Block and Superstar, and Big Willie, who is still trying to call Google Talk. Believe it or not. Yeah,
I think Big Willie may be the new contender for our advice column.
And we just got
Ask Big Willie.
The British lady just gave us a 60-second warning. So next week, we're going to have the inventor of Holler.com, which is something I've been using to promote the show. His name is Brandon Krause, also known as Mama's Boy on certain radio stations, which I'm still not allowed if I'm supposed to say or not. But his name's Mama's Boy. He'll be on with us next week to promote his website. And we're going to have Justin Bieber talk. And I have a couple other segments that I know Louie's going to jump all over, especially one in particular. We'll promote that during the week. So, unless you guys have anything else to add, we have 20 seconds left.
No, I have nothing.
No, I'm just so pleased that Willie was able to call in. I think once the world really gets to know him and he really opens up and just drops that bold facade, he's going to be. We're going to go places with Big Willie.
Well, see you later, everybody.
Nighty night.
Bye.